Friday Chariot Festival. Chariot Festival. So the presiding deities of the Chariot Festival is Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra Devi. Right? But did you ever wonder why these deities don't have hands and legs? All other deities go upstairs, all the deities goes hands and legs.
Yes.
But these three deities don't have hands and legs. They were wondered why. So I'll discuss, you see, this is a concise version of this history of this Lord Jagannath which appeared in Rajapur. It's very interesting. So I'll read a book which was compiled by the head Pujari from our Mayapur temple. Shri Mayapur Dham. Now this devotee's name is Pankajari Das. So he left his body during COVID. You see, there were actually the twin brothers, Pankajari Das and Jagannath. They were twin brothers. The one of the brothers, Pankajari, contracted COVID and he left the world. So when the tiger culminated his body in the flames, they saw the deity of Nrsimha, and that was captured. Somebody captured that and it was sent to everyone. Yeah, that happened, you see. So I read from the cover and note this printing is not so good, right? Alright. Unfortunately, there will be a lot of reading to do. These are very concise form, it's easy to understand, okay, it's just history. The Supreme Lord's pastimes are eternal and ever fresh, a constant source of delight and inspiration for his devotees. And Lord Jagannath is the master of trickery, playful and loving dealings with those who serve him, who pray to him, who interact with him in personal way. His reciprocation is swift, clear and impetus for all his devotees to love him more and more. Who can resist such a person? Our own Rajapur Mandir in Mayapur is the most special place in the universe, a place where Lord Jagannath performs his eternal pastime and engages his devotees in loving dealings with him. Sometimes serious, sometimes playful, and always generous with his attraction, chastisement, and blessing. For the first time, devotees the world over, the printing is over, the world over share the pastimes of Lord Jagannath in Rajapur in his special volume of his history and pastimes of Lord Jagannath in Rajapur. May the bright sun of Lord Jagannath shine, smile rise in your heart, and till you all with the writing, this printing is very bad. Oh. Okay, because he got the message, right? So he starts off with, he says, this book is dedicated to my eternal spiritual master, my beloved spiritual master, who so kindly took the trouble to come to the Western countries and save me. I will never be able to repay him. May this book be a testimony to his greatness, as he was the one who gave us Lord Jagannath, as well as for the glorification of the Supreme Personality of God, right? So this writer is paying homage to Srila Prabhupada. Okay, he's a direct disciple of Prabhupada. The introduction. Almost everyone in India knows Lord Jagannath. His annual car festival, Rath Yatra in Puri, draws millions of people, make it one of the biggest festivals in the world. However, surprisingly, few know why the Lord appears in such an extraordinary form, which is, without answer, legs. That's the form, right? Lord Jagannath's manifestation in Puri and the reason behind his most unusual form. Many thousands of years ago, King Indradyumna, a great devotee of Lord Vishnu, yearned to see the Lord face to face. He received the news of a deity incarnation of Lord Vishnu named Namahatta, who told his pujari that he would like to be worshipped in a royal style by King Indradyumna. When the king arrived, however, the deity was gone. A voice from the sky announced to the king that he should construct a temple on top of Nila Hill, and the Lord would manifest himself there in a wooden form. That is, we're talking about the present Jagannath temple in Puri. Okay. Following the order, King Indradyumna had the temple built and established a town around it called Ramanachpura. His desire was that Lord Brahma concentrate the temple, so he traveled to Brahmalok to meet with Lord Brahma. Okay, so he built a temple, he wanted Lord Brahma to do like the opening ceremony and so forth. Right. But as the time span is different in Brahmaloka, many centuries had passed by the time King Indradyumna arrived back to earth. Now one day of Brahma equal to 4.2 billion years. No, that is a long duration of time. That is one day of Brahma, right? Can you imagine? See what happens now. And the temple had been buried by sandstorm. By the time he go and come back, dust has taken all, the people of worship all disappeared and so forth. Right. Two kings had reigned over the land since Indradyumna left. And during the reign of the second king, Gaura, the temple was uncovered. When King Indradyumna reappeared claiming he had constructed it, no one believed him. However, in a banyan tree near the temple was a crow, Pushanti, who had lived through many ages and observed the construction of the temple. Pushanti confirmed the king's story. Indradyumna then prayed to Lord Brahma to concentrate the temple and the surrounding area known as Shishetra. What has happened there? The king Indradyumna went there to Brahmalok and came back. In the meantime, someone else was worshipped that took over the worship. Now everyone thinking that the other king, he built the temple. But the crow was there witnessing who built the temple. It was this king Indradyumna who went to Brahmaloka and came back. Okay, that's what happened then. But Lord Brahma said, this place is manifested from the Supreme Lord's internal potency. The Lord eternally resides here, and he manifests himself when he desires. It is not within my power to install the Lord there. He said that is already a town, finished. There's no need for him to come. The Lord is already there. Yeah. Upon hearing this, Indradyumna became restless. He waited and waited and waited until his impatience turned into despondency. Thinking his life was useless, he decided to give it up by fasting. Then Lord Jagannath appeared to him in a dream and said, "My dear king, give up your anxiety. Tomorrow I shall come floating in from the sea in my wooden form known as Gaura Brahman at a place called Banki Muhan. The next day, amidst the joyous kirtan, Gaura Brahman was washed up on the beach and brought to King Indradyumna in a golden chariot. There is some point missed here. You see, a log appeared there. Okay. So the king sent his people to retrieve the log. Yes. So no one can retrieve it. It was too heavy for them. They couldn't do it. Then the king sent 10 elephants to pull that log out from the ocean. The elephants failed. No one could take it out. So the Vishwakarma, who is the architect of the demigods, he came in the form of a Brahman. And the people are going around there, looking for people to come pull it up. So he appeared in the form of a Brahmana. He came from the heavenly planets, he came down. So he told the king, don't worry, he'll go retrieve the log. He went there effortlessly, he retrieved the log and brought it out for the deities to be carved. So let's see what happens after that. He called many except sculptors, but none of them was able to touch the Daru Brahman. As soon as the chisel touched the log of wood, it broke into many pieces. Then one day an artist who introduced himself as Ananta Maharana offered to carve the deity. According to some, this Ananta was the Lord himself, while others say he was Vishwakarma, the architect of the Devas who had come to render service to the Lord. He promised that the deities would be ready. He'd be ready in 21 days, provided he could walk alone behind locked doors. Daily the king would pace back and forth in front of the temple doors in great anticipation. But on the 14th day, his hopes turned into anxiety, for no longer he could hear the tapping of the artist's tools. So when he was chiseling, he could hear it, but the 14th day, nothing happened. So he got concerned. What's going on now, right? He got very, very impatient. Although his ministers again and again forbade him, he forced open the locked doors. The sculpture was nowhere to be seen, and Daulu Brahman was now manifest in three forms: Jagannath, Subhadra, and Baladev. Moving closer, the king noticed that the hands and legs of the deities were unfinished. Oh no, he exclaimed, what have I done? Why was I so impatient? Now the deities are unfinished and the sculpture has disappeared. I'm a great offender. Thinking like this, once again he decided to give up his life by fasting. When half the night had passed, Lord Jagannath appeared in his dream and spoke as follows. In this material world, I descend in 24 incarnations along with my abode. I have no material hands or feet, but with my transcendental senses I accept all the items offered in service by my devotees, and for the benefit of the world I move from one place to another. That is the carp festival, they call it. All right. Other deities, they stay where they are. All right. You have broken your promise, but that is just a part of the sweetness of my pastime to manifest the Jagannath form which protects the words of the Vedas which declare, without legs he moves, and without hands he accepts. Yet those devotees whose eyes are annotated with love will always see me as Shamachundra holding a flute. But if you desire is to serve me in opulence, then from time to time I may be decorated with hand and feet made of gold and silver. You should know for certain, however, that my limbs are the ornaments of all ornaments. All right. Hearing the words of Lord Jagannath in his dream, King Arjuna became fully satisfied and prayed to him as follows. Let the doors of your temples be closed for only 3 hours daily, so that all the residents of the universe may have your darshan. Let the doors for 3 hours, that is when they offer that bhoga offering and so forth. Further, let it be that all day long your eating may go on and your lotus fingers may thus never become dry. So Lord Jagannath replied, Tatasthu. Okay. So that's how the deity came into form, right? And these deities were worshipped in Jagannath Puri, in Orissa, that is. Now the story that how the Lord Jagannath went to Rajapur with his Priya Mayapur. This is the story, right? Everyone knows Krishna, the Lord of Golok. That Krishna, whose Vilash Murti is Narayan, is the supreme truth and it resides in Vrindavan. That Krishna is fully manifest in the Gaura Hari and the Vrindavan. Is fully manifest in the form of Navati Dham. Okay, yeah. Around the 7th century, a Yavan king named Rajapur appeared in the region of Orissa. He was very sinful and irreligious and caused great devastation, destroying temples and terrorizing the hearts of pious people in Orissa. This happened during the Muslim invasion too, when the Muslims were ruling India too. They were desecrating a lot of temples. There's one evidence in Vrindavan, that is the Radha Monument temple. You see right at the top of the temple, the dome and all, they break that thing. You see that. When the devotees of Lord Jagannath in Puri came to know about the mischievousness of Rajapur, they came very much afraid. They immediately approached Lord Jagannath. Oh, worshipful Lord, the devotees prayed. We are in great anxiety knowing that a miscreant named Rajapur is breaking down all temples and destroying the deities inside. He is now proceeding in this direction. He may come at any moment and attack your temple. If that happens, then we will have to give up our lives, because we will never be able to tolerate any action against you. Please save us from this danger by making proper arrangement for the protection of your divine form and the temple, O mighty Lord. Being thus approached by the devotee, Lord Jagannath appeared in the dream of the head priest that night and spoke to him as follows. My dear Pujari, I am completely overwhelmed by perceiving the ardent love and devotion that your devotees have for me. You all love me more than yourself. This is the symptom of a pure devotee. Actually, nobody can harm my divine form or my temple. I certainly need not worry about that. Just by my powerful will, I can keep all miscreants away from the place where I stay with my beloved devotees. But in order to bless my devotees and to reciprocate with them, many times I accept this kind of hardship willingly. In this way, my devotees' love and attachment for me increases manifold. And since this is the desire, I establish the love for me in a more prominent way. Tomorrow, therefore, please remove the deities of myself, Lord Balram and Subhra Devi, and set out for Bengal. You should take the path through the jungle so that you can easily escape Rajapur, who is coming by the main road. Have no fear, I will always protect you. The Lord then disappeared from the dream, and the Pujari woke up. He immediately broadcast the message which stirred the devotees, and they all started to make the proper arrangement for the Lord's journey. The traditional system of service to the Lord in Jagannath Puri is that the devotees from a different section of society are assigned various services. For instance, the Brahmanas are responsible for worship of the deities. Other devotees cook for the Lord's pleasure. Those devotees known as Shavaras perform the service of carrying Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi when the Lordship attend festival like Snan Yatra. What happens now, they talk about classes, certain class of people, where the Brahmana cooking and certain other people cooking and so forth, but only the lower caste of people are allowed to carry the deity. They call them Shavaras. The Shavaras are pig herders. They raise pigs. Like you get in India, people raise buffalo, cows, they keep cows is revered animal, they have goats, they keep sheep and all so forth. But these people, they are pig herders, Shavaras. Right? They raise pigs and for what it is, but I don't know. So those are the only people allowed to carry the deities. Now on Friday you will see low caste people carrying the deities. You see high class, Brahmanas who has they will be carrying the deities. But here, the lowest of the lowest caste, they carry the deities. When the message reached the Shavara that the Lord wanted to leave for Bengal, they immediately made all the necessary arrangement for departure the next morning. Right. So all the people went to this, to go to Bengal, to the place called Rajapur. Right. I'm just going to short circuit the time is running out here. Right. So the deity was installed there, and in time it was buried. It was buried because people who should worship that thing, they passed on. They got old, so okay, you carry on the worship. You did the worship and you passed on, you do it. Next person. It's a carry on in that succession. Finally, there was no more to do it, so that whole thing came into ruins. Right? The temple collapsed and so forth. Then what happened? There was all dust and dirt and sand covered that thing. But for so many thousands of years, hundreds of years, there was an ant hill built around the deities. Normally, when there's wood, ants go eat the wood and finish it. But these deities were intact. Say they're intact. So, I'm just going to read some pastimes. Now, these are actual pastimes that happened, which were recorded, and people spoke about it, and it was recorded. It's quite a nice pastime, right? Just go through, just open the pages. So some of the prints is very hard to read it. Yeah. Now this is, you have to maintain yourself. Right. After the temple and deities had been repaired, Germany Ghosh decided to serve them. But he had no money, so he appealed to Lord Jagannath and explained his plight. That night, right, so the pujari should serve, like now you need funds, you need money to buy the ingredients and to do the service or whatever, those that cook and so forth. So he ran out of money. And you say, I'm sorry, then you got to maintain yourself. I can't do it. I got no money. So that night, 2 yew branches fell from the tree beside the temple. He sold that wood and money provided for the server for a few months. But just behind the temple is a huge tree that they got. I don't know what tree that is. Some tree, so the branch fell from there. So they cut that log and the sold it as firewood to someone else. With that Lakshmi, the money that server was carrying on for a few months. When the money was finished, he again approached Lord Jagannath and said, Prabhu, I cannot maintain you anymore. You will have to maintain yourself. From that day on, inside the temple, on the side of the altar, he would find just enough money to pay for the day's puja. Right? This is what happened. The money, the Lord provided that. Now this is, don't show your feet to the deities. It's very important. Sometimes people sit in the temple on the floor and they show the feet to the deities. Yeah. One day I went to the temple. These devotees were Reservoir Hills, known. You should come to Namahatta for a long time. It's a bit old now, 94 years. So you are sitting in the chair and you're sitting in front of the deities. And he put a ledger in front of him and he put his leg on top of the other chair and he's facing the deities. Jagannath and all the people who was there in the temple, but no one can see. The offense is causing. I went there, I just walked in. I say, what you're doing is not right. You don't show your feet to the deities. Right? So we got up and he walked on the bench. I corrected him in a nice way. That's what we need to do. When you're in a temple, you see, people, sometimes devotees come and do the wrong things. Some of the new people, you need to cultivate them. Right? Now this is, don't show your feet to the deities. Right? Once some children were playing in front of the old temple. One of the girls started showing the soles of her feet to the deity in an insolent way. This is the Mumbai. This is the Thakur. Thakur, that in India, they don't refer to Krishna as Krishna. They refer to Krishna as Thakur. Thakurji, Thakur. So they talk about Thakur, you must know, they're talking about Krishna. They don't refer to Krishna as Krishna. Okay, there is Thakur. The girl who was from a Muslim family said, what do I care for them? Within a very short time, her feet became infected. The infection spread to her legs and she could not walk properly anymore. She is a grown woman now and you can still see her in the village moving around on her knees. So everyone in the locality is very respectable and little fearful of Lord Jagannath. Okay. That's page 50. And none of Lord Jagannath's property is insignificant. An old man from this village told a story to the pujari. When he was a young boy, he was herding cows through the Jagannath Mandir. At that time, the temple was in ruins, so there were many bricks strewn around the temple. Just for fun, he took a brick, broke it with a stick and threw it out. That night he couldn't sleep. The whole night he was constantly hearing a voice saying, "Why did you throw the brick out of my temple?" The next day he retrieved the brick and put it back from where he had taken it. Only then the old man said, "Did he have peace?" So that's about 69. A Muslim girl regains eyesight. Okay. Many years back, when Jagannath was in his old temple, there was a young Muslim girl from the village who had very poor eyesight. There were no proper eye doctors available then, and the family was too poor to take her to Calcutta for treatment. Now this is the village, like this. There's nothing there, like no shop, no doctors, no nothing, like And the nearest big town is Calcutta. That is about 4 hours drive. Yeah, from where they are, it's about 4 hours drive. The many doctors she did see all said the condition was incurable. This is happening in Calcutta. Gradually her vision became worse and worse. Finding no other hope for a family, he decided to seek the shoulder of Lord Jagannath. So they brought her to the temple and told her that Lord Jagannath had helped many people in the past and that she should pray for his mercy. With complete faith in Jagannath, she took Chanamrita for 7 days and miraculously the vision became normal. Until her last day, she would say that even though she is quite old, she could still see very nicely. So it's very, very important that when you go to the temple, you must honor Chanamrita. You must take. When you're going in, you can take it, or coming out, you can take it. When you're coming out, it's a big rush.
Yes.
So what I do when I'm going in, I take it like so. I don't have to stand in a queue. Like.
Yes. So what is this? You know the root chart? Yeah. Okay. You give the
Oh, right. And something, the magic lamp. Yeah. Now this is a magic lamp. Like now, in those days, there's no electricity or anything there. Like they should light candles or sometimes there's no candle. They use the arti time now. One evening, some students came to the temple and they explained to the pujari how they had heard so many wonderful things about these deities. So we thought we have to come and see them. But at that time it was dark. The temple wasn't so opulent in those days and there was only one candle providing light. They could hardly see the deities in the dim light, so they were disappointed. They told the pujari that they came a long way to see the deities but could hardly see. The pujari began to offer the arati and they decided to leave. But the pujari called them to come back. After he had offered the Pancha Pratita lamp and placed it on the ledge near the altar, the flame started increasing in size until they reached 9 or 10 inches in length, giving off a very bright light that illuminated the whole altar. Then the students came back running and enjoyed the nice darshan. Right? You know that other thing, that the world shut up, the whole place is illuminated. This is about a mole. This is a nice one. Water in Jagannath's mole. I don't know, this is in India what they do, they dilute the milk and sell like. People who got cows, they put water and sell it, to get more income, like you say. One time the milkman was talking to the god, Prarad, and complaining that he has so much bad luck. Every day before I reach the market, my milk spoils. That every day when I go to sell it to the market, you know the marketplace to sell milk, by the time you go, the milk is spoiled. You can't sell it. 7 days in a row, 40 liters of my milk was spoiled. Prahlad asked him, do you put water in the milk that you gave to Jagannath? Tell me honestly. Feeling embarrassed and looking down, he confessed, this is our practice, our business. You water down, like, dilute the milk, that's the business like they do. Maybe that's the reason why Prahlad said. The next morning he did not add any water to Jagannath's milk. From then on, his milk did not spoil. 94, shoes inside the temple. So we know it's common knowledge that you don't go shoes inside the temple. But when this temple opened, Chester temple opened, there was so much of people there that we had to take our shoes inside the temple. But we had to carry them, we can't wear them. Because there's so much, there was no place to keep, because the gangway there, it was packed. Yeah, the temple, and we were there the whole day, and only 10 o'clock in the night, we were allowed to go inside the temple. That's what it was. Yeah, only 10 o'clock, they allowed the guests to go, they had government officials and all those people, the time was going on, and that 10 o'clock night, and that too, there's no place to keep the shoes, they get this one exemption, okay, go in the temple, but you carry your shoes and go, that's what happens. So, shoes inside the temple. A rich man came, visited the temple. It was crowded and he became worried that his fancy shoes might get stolen. So he stuck his shoes in his belt, covered himself with the shawl and entered the temple. As he bent to offer obeisance, he begged on crack and he was no longer able to stand straight. Despite undergoing much treatment, he never got cured. The next time he visited Jagannath, he admitted that this happened to him as a result of the offenses he committed. You see what happens, the reaction. So he got a very severe reaction, he became a crippled person. Yeah, it's very important, where you go, you see, we must have faith in the Lord, wherever you go, whatever you do, I'm going out somewhere, the Lord will protect me in whatever I do and so forth. Now this is a story of a husband and wife. Now they're going to Mangal Arati now, and they are late. Mangal Arati is 4 o'clock. Now in India, the Bengalis go for Mangal Arati. Now in the morning there's no transport service. From the village they walk, they come to the river Ganges, they take a ferry. They cross the Ganges, they walk from the Ganges, they walk about 3 kilometers to the temple, and they're there at 4:30 for Mangal Arati. And the locals come there. They come there. They walk and come. That's how they come. So this lady, the story of this lady, that they were getting late for Mangal Arati now. The husband and wife are going. The husband is so anxious. The wife is so anxious. For the Mangal not to be late or something. She's running forward and going, and the husband in the back, she's walking, running, or whatever it is. This is what happened now. Once very recently, a man and his wife were coming to attend a Mangal Arati at Jagannath Mandir. The husband was carrying a torch, but as it was getting late, the wife Vishaka ran ahead in the dark. As she was passing under a banyan tree next to Lord Jagannath's boundary wall, there came a bright light and a loud voice commanding her to stop. Looking ahead, she saw a tall, bare-chested man shining a torch on the ground in front of her. Looking down, she gasped as she saw that she was able to step on a huge venomous cobra that was lying on her path. She quickly stepped back and the snake slithered away. Her husband arrived to see the snake just as it disappeared. He also saw the tall, dark man leaving without saying a word. The couple could understand that Lord Jagannath had sent the man to say Vichaka, otherwise no one else on the road at that time. But that's a misunderstanding. That Lord came himself in the black, Lord Jagannath in the black form. Like in Bengal, mostly there's cobras are predominant. The reservoir is in the black Mama. What I was saying, like in Bengal, these cobras, there are a lot of cobras there, yeah, there are a lot of cobras. It's very venomous that, hey, don't play with that. Sometimes when there's a flood, the guys in a flood, they come swimming because the temple get flooded and they come swimming. Yeah. So do the last 110. Yeah, this is what happens. You see, sometimes when you go to the temple, you meet, sometimes you go get sick. Many people go to India, they get sick. Like, yeah. Something happens to you, you got a cold or something. Definitely, you go for the first time, you must get sick, no matter what happens. This is what happened to the devotee who went there for Gaura. This Gaura had the good fortune of coming to Mayapur for the first time in my life and also visiting Lord Jagannath's temple during the parikram and hearing about the wonderful pastimes of Lord Jagannath. They're talking about parikram. Parikram is like a walking, you walk from one holy place to another, but there are many temples there. You walk from one place to the next place they discuss the pastime of that particular place, then they move to another place. They keep walking, that's about a whole day affair. I was extremely sick the next day and I was praying to Lord Jagannath that since he was a mystic, he need to do something to me so I can continue on the parikram. Next morning I came to the temple and had Chanamarit and instantly I became completely normal and all my sickness gradually vanished. So this is my complete for it, right? Okay, we shall stop there. Hope you enjoyed it. These are all actual stories that took place. Like there's more, there's plenty here, but I just picked the most salient ones, right, for easy understanding. But time is another issue, like Yeah. Right, thank you very much. That's it. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for Hare Krishna.